Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builders Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the C.R. Laurence number 30-1247-313. This is a right arm assembly in the 313 finish. Yeah, it certainly appears black. It's actually not quite black. If we hold it up to something that I know is black, depending on how the light reflects, it does appear to be maybe just a hint of dark bronze. They don't have it listed in black, so this has to be dark bronze 313. There's such a blurring of lines between dark bronze colors and black in a lot of instances. Anyway, this is what is called the right arm assembly. Okay. And the way that you determine what arm assembly you need is based on when you are on the egress side, the side that you are exiting from to the exterior. Ingress is when you're coming in. Egress is when you're exiting out. So when the door is closed and you're on the egress side or the push side or the side that you can see the exit device on, the right arm is on the right. The left arm is on the left. And we know that this is the right arm because when this is installed in the exit device, the head case is here. Okay, from your perspective, watching this video, this is on the right side of your screen. Okay, so you just have to position this so that it is going to operate in the device. Your crossbar and those oval-shaped crossbars, those tubes, those can be ordered as well, and they just fit on the inside of here. And that's very simply how you order these. The good thing is there isn't a left and a right based on active case, inactive case. It's just left and right, and they'll fit into either side. There's a manufacturer who does indeed have it that way, so that you have actually 4 versions of these. But it's nice about the 1095 is there's just one version. It's just one of each hand, obviously. 2 different finishes. This, again, is the 313 finish, which is they call dark bronze. It appears to be powder-coated dark bronze. Then there is the 628 finish, which would be a aluminum type color. What you're going to get with this is you're going to get the bushing and the rivet and the spline and a couple of washers. Bushing. And basically all of the material that you need to connect the item into the housing is going to be here. And we can see how that all goes together. So what we end up having here is, so first of all, the spline is going to go into the top of the unit, and that serves to prevent the bar from being pushed in too far. Then you're going to be able to install this into the mechanism in the case itself by using the bushing and the pin that's going to go inside of there that will allow it to stay installed in the unit. Then you'll have a couple of washers, and those are going to install on either side of the arm, just like that, to get that installed correctly. Now, an interesting aspect, too, and I kind of just put it together the way that it would look like. An interesting aspect of C.R. Laurence and these Jackson exit devices is the part numbers have changed. So, and I'm not familiar with the history of C.R. Laurence in terms of their acquisition of Jackson, but that was a number of years ago. So part numbers that existed back then under Jackson, they're the same items that they are today, but they have different part numbers. And the problem is, I have found that if I give C.R. Laurence the Jackson part number, they don't know what it is sometimes. Now, I can go back to the older Jackson catalog and I can say, okay, look at this cut sheet. This is the item. What is the current item? So sometimes we have to do that. The other problem is they don't have published documentation on things. So this lever arm does not exist in any current C.R. Laurence catalog, but it's a very viable, active, available part. Now, we're going to switch to the screen view where I'm going to show you some supporting documentation, and we'll see how the part number is not the modern part number, but by all means reach out to us because we can convert it in absence of having the conversion paperwork from Sierra Lawrence. So let's switch to the screen view now. Okay, so here is the item that we are looking at, the 3147-313. This is shown in the proper orientation. If you were standing kind of looking at the door from the egress side when the door is open at, basically, 115 degree, I suppose, you'd kind of look like this. This is what moves up and down. So, right side arm assembly for the 1095, which is a rim-mounted crossbar style exit device. The 1085, I believe, is their concealed vertical rod crossbar exit device. And this description here really applies to the device itself. There is an image here that does show what that looks like off of the parts drawing, and then a printable cut sheet. Not much to see there. This obviously shows you a left-hand arm. And this is also a left-hand arm because it's flipped over. It should be turned up this way. This is actually shown upside down. Let's see here now. Yeah, left-hand arm. I'm going to stick with that. Yeah, definitely a left-hand arm. Now, there's also a link to the parts drawing, and you can open up that document, and you will certainly find it. And it is here. Let's get this rotated. So you're going to see on the 1095 parts drawing, parts 7 and 8, 5 and 6. Let's take a closer look at that. So the earlier reference to the ARM type actually referred to the 1085 series, where there are only 2 ARM types. The 1095 does have 4 different versions seen here. Parts 5, 6, 7, and 8. You've got hand for the active head case, where the latch bolt is. Then you've got 7 and 8 for the inactive side. So I apologize for stating that incorrectly earlier. Let's take a look. It was parts 5, 6, 7, and 8. The 1247, 48, 42, and 43. Okay. Oh, they do list them in black as well. They don't. They actually don't have black listed in the Sierra Lawrence site, which is why I had said that. So this older document does indeed list black as available, but they don't list it in their site, so I'm imagining that it's either an omission in the site or it's not available. If you're looking for black and we don't have it listed, by all means reach out to us. So this parts drawing is very handy because you can basically pull your number from here and get to the breakdown second page of the document, and then pull up that part number and be able to populate that back into the search. Okay. The 1242 was a part number. Okay. That 1242 was the left arm assembly. It's part number 7. Okay. And you get the picture. 30-1242-628 is what I just searched to find that. A very common piece of equipment, actually, for someone to purchase, and the reason it is because they get damaged. How they get damaged, I find, is, well, obviously vandalism, but in normal use, what happens is at the church or at the university or at the commercial building, whatever it is, the package delivery service comes in with their large cart, comes in, makes the deliveries to the multiple tenants within the space, then exits, and the door is held open, and they roll that cart through and they smack the end bracket, requiring it to be replaced. So when I find that I'm replacing an arm only, it's generally because of that sort of damage. Something is broken, has broken. What I don't sell often are the entire body and arm assembly. I don't find this purchased often. Dogging assemblies are very common. The lever arms are certainly common. Crossbars are common. And that's, the dogging assemblies are certainly most common, followed by the lever arm assemblies. And then everything else kind of just falls in line at that point. So if you're rebuilding a 1095, in my experience, those are the items that you're going to bump into. Okay, so there is a link, two things I'd like to show you. So there's a link here to the manufacturer's page. This is the Jackson page, which has older catalog sections. So this Jackson exit device catalog, okay, is literally pre-C.R. Laurens. So I like to be able to look at this because, I'll say it again, there are times when I need to advise someone at C.R. Laurens what I'm looking for. And that generally falls into the door closer conversation. So the part numbers that are listed here for door closers are not necessarily part numbers that are going to be easily translatable by someone working at C.R. Laurens. So I do very often find that I need to go back and look and see what the closer was. A client is looking for, a 20-330 closer, okay? And then I want to try to translate that into a part number in C.R. Laurens's site. So I can generally use the translation in this catalog to be able to get there. And what I'm driving at is if someone supplies you with a out-of-date part number and gives you the other information regarding it, once you understand how the door closer behaves, its profile, its feature profile, you can then look at the C.R. Laurens catalog and say, okay, I need these features. What's the new part number or the newer part number? The Jackson door closer, how to order, is really a document that I use often because these part numbers are not necessarily going to convert to C.R. Laurens's modern catalog. But if someone gives you this structure, you can figure out what it is, then go to C.R. Laurens, and then get those features that you require. So I do try to keep, we keep lots of catalogs from everyone, even old catalogs, and it's very often because old catalogs are the only way to understand what it is someone's asking for. And it does apply with pivots as well. Okay, I find that there are part numbers for pivots that C.R. Laurens does not know what I'm asking for. They may have an idea that it's a pivot, but if I can figure out what it is here, I can translate in the modern catalog. Let's wrap up this video on camera. In conclusion, very typical and common sort of item, as I had said earlier, to replace. The name Jackson is synonymous with those exit devices and door closers and pivots for aluminum storefront. Again, I don't know the exact history of C.R. Laurens acquiring Jackson, but it was at some point in the reasonably distant future. And other than part numbers changing, the core product line really hasn't changed. What that means is this. You have a concealed overhead closer and aluminum door storefront, C.R. Laurens, Jackson C.R. Laurens. You've got a narrow style exit device that you need a rim exit for, Jackson C.R. Laurens. Pivots, Jackson C.R. Laurens is going to have that stuff. Those older catalogs are kept there to help you do the research to find out what it was and how to get what you need. And by all means, refer to us, lean on us for assistance in getting your order placed when it's not a simple and straightforward translation. Any questions on the 30-1242 and a 313 finish or any other Jackson product, please, C.R. Laurens product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.